Ever notice how some thoughts just won't leave you alone? Like a little voice saying, "You're not good enough." Or, "What if this goes wrong?" What if I told you that voice isn't you? It's just an old program running in your mind. You have probably tried to think positive or push through fear using willpower. But what if there is a smarter way? A way to recode the patterns inside your head that keep pulling you back. This is the essence of NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's not some mystical formula. It's a practical set of tools that help you change the way you think, feel, and behave step by step. Back in the 1970s, Richard Bandler, a mathematician, and John Grinder, a linguist, asked a simple but very powerful question. What are the best therapists in the world doing differently? And can that be modeled? They were not studying theory, they were studying results. They analyzed therapists like Virginia Satir, who had a way of making people feel instantly understood. Milton Erickson, who could guide the unconscious with just a few rightly placed words. And Fritz Perls, who brought deep patterns to light through Gestalt therapy. What they found became NLP, a kind of user manual for the mind. It teaches you to observe the structure behind your experience and then change it. The map is not the territory, is one of the core principles. So let's start with this. You don't experience reality, you experience your version of it. Your brain is a map maker. Every time you go through something, a victory, a failure, a conversation, your brain encodes it. It stores what you saw, what you heard, what you felt. These impressions become your internal representation, your map of that event. But like any map, it is incomplete, it is filtered, it is biased, and so on. For example, maybe a fear of public speaking came from an awkward childhood moment. Maybe a belief like "I'm not good enough" came from a passing comment by a teacher. Those memories might not be a true reflection of your potential, but they still shape your behavior unless you update the map. And NLP helps you do exactly that. Your thoughts are not random, they follow a structure. When you feel anxious or avoid something important, it is not just happening, there is a sequence playing out internally. You might see a mental image, hear an inner voice, or feel something in your body. These are called representational systems or modalities. And there are 5 of them primarily, but the most common ones are visual, auditory, and kinesthetic. Visual means mental pictures, what you see inside your mind. Auditory is inner dialogue, what you hear, what you say, and so on. And kinesthetic refers to feelings, tension, or sensations. The other two are olfactory and gustatory, smells and tastes, linked to memories. Together they make up your thoughts. So, when you try to think anything, what are you actually doing? If I ask you to think about something, what will you do? You'll probably remember something. And when I say remember something, you will see some pictures in your mind, whether it's a moving event happening or still images. And then maybe you will hear some sounds, somebody talking, saying something, or you saying something. And then feelings associated with that image and sound. Predominantly these. Sometimes olfactory and gustatory modalities are also involved. For example, in my childhood, I used to frequent a railway station which had a very distinct smell. Even now, if I get into a place which has a similar smell, I immediately recall that railway station. I am transported to that station that I used to frequent in my childhood. Maybe you have similar memories. And when I say I'm transported to that place, an image comes in my mind, and the sound and the smell, right? All these associations. So, this is how we think, this is how we remember. Within each of these sensory systems, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, there are subtle variations, and these are called submodalities. Think of them as fine tuning controls of your experience. In the mental image, is the image close or far? Is it bright or dim? Is it sharp, focused, or blurry, hazy? Is it still, or does it move? Like, is it a movie in your mind? These are the various variations of the modalities or representational systems. Similarly, your inner voice. Is it you hearing something or speaking? And if so, is it loud or soft, harsh or gentle? Is it fast or slow? Even physical sensations, are they heavy, light, warm, cold? Do they pulse, tingle, or stay still? These are different variations of those modalities. Why are we talking about them? Because they are very important. We will discover how. These micro details shape the emotional intensity of your internal experience. In NLP, changing them can change how you feel about those memories. Submodalities are where subtle shifts make a massive difference. Change the submodalities and the emotional impact changes. The key point is that NLP does not focus on why you feel a certain way. For example, you might say, I'm anxious because of a past trauma. Instead, NLP looks at how you are creating that feeling right now. Are you picturing a worst case scenario in vivid detail? Are you telling yourself, I'm going to fail? Are you feeling a knot in your stomach? NLP experts believe that by understanding the recipe of your experience, how your thoughts, images, self-talk, and feelings come together, you can tweak that recipe to create a different outcome, like calmness or confidence. Think of it like cooking. If you made a dish that is too spicy, what you need to do is reduce chili or add sweetness when you are making it next time, right? You are tweaking the ingredients. Similarly, when you recall something which has certain strong emotion attached to it, you are picturing something, saying something, and feeling something in a certain way. By changing the submodalities of those ingredients of your thoughts or memory, you will be able to change the experience, the feeling, the intensity. This makes NLP very versatile. Whether you are dealing with fear, bad habits, or communication struggles, the same principle applies. You learn how your mind is building the experience and then adjust the building blocks to get a different result. At its heart, NLP works through 3 simple steps that anyone can use no matter what is the underlying problem. First step, notice how you are thinking. Pay attention to what is happening in your mind. What are you saying to yourself? What sensations do you feel in your body? For example, if you are nervous about a presentation, you might notice a mental image of yourself stumbling or a voice in your head saying, I'm not prepared. So, first step is notice how you are thinking about something. In this case, about you making a presentation. Second step is change the pattern. Experiment with tweaking one or more of the elements, the modalities. For example, if you have a certain mental image, make it smaller or less colorful or black and white. Push it far away. Just try playing around with these variations and see if your feeling or the intensity of the feeling changes. You can change your self-talk to something encouraging like, I've got this, with intensity. Shift your physical state by taking deep breaths or standing confidently. Even small changes like these can shift how you feel. And then third step is practice the new way. Repeat the new pattern until it feels natural to you. If you keep picturing success, telling yourself you are capable, or feeling calm, your brain starts to adopt this as the new default. Like any new activity or sport, it does not feel natural in the beginning. You will feel uncomfortable. But like any sport, you will get better when you repeat it again and again. The more you do, the better you will get. So once you have identified the changes in step 2 that bring about the desired feeling or result, your job is to keep rehearsing it in your mind until it becomes natural. And next time when you think about a presentation, you would have a different image in your mind, or you would be saying something different, and you would be feeling differently. At the core, this is it. This process works because your brain does not react to the world. It creates your experience based on how it processes information. And by changing how you process, you change the experience itself. Let's take another example. Let's say you feel anxious before meeting someone new. Instead of digging into why, for example, I had a bad experience in the past, NLP asks, how are you creating this anxiety? You might notice you are imagining them judging you, a vivid mental image, which makes you uncomfortable. Or you hear a voice inside your head saying something like, they won't like me, and feel a racing heart. To change this, you can try shrinking the mental image of being judged, or make it blurry, small, to reduce its power. Change your self-talk. Say something like, I'm curious to meet them, and I will be myself. Take slow, deep breaths to calm your body when you are thinking about meeting someone new. By tweaking these pieces, the anxiety fades, and you feel more at ease without needing to know the root cause. NLP doesn't care about why you are feeling anxious when you think about meeting new people. It is more concerned about how you are creating that feeling. And that is through the structure of images, sound, feeling, and how you combine them. This is why NLP is so powerful. It is like having a remote control for your mind that lets you adjust the settings to get the emotions or behaviors you want. You can change the channel. These elements, images, sound, feeling, smell, taste, they become the syntax of the language of your brain, using which you can reprogram your nervous system. That's the intention behind the name NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, changing the nervous system through the use of language and reprogramming it. There are a lot of details to it, which we will discuss in some future videos. But if you understand this core part, this fundamental, that everything that you experience is based on a map that you have built of that experience or of this world, and it is not necessarily the truth out there. It is your perception of that event and that memory, and it has a certain structure to it. It is coded in a certain way in your mind using images, sounds, feelings, etc. Let's say you go to some event with friends. When you come back and you both think about that event, your thoughts will not be very objective. Each of you will carry your own version of it. You might have certain pictures of that event more prominently displayed in your mind than your friends, because no two people are paying the exact same attention to every detail. Maybe you are focused on the music, maybe your friend is focused on the lyrics or on the people at the event. So your focus determines what you will carry with you. And that's why what you carry with you is not absolute. It can be changed. To understand it deeply, let's do a simple exercise. Okay? I want you to try this with me, just for 5 minutes. Indulge me. Pick a moment. Think of a situation where you feel stuck or uncomfortable. It can be anything, a stressful situation, something to do with procrastination or shyness. You pick any moment. Keep it lighter. Don't pick a situation with a very strong impact or something very difficult, because this is the beginning. So let us start small. Think of a situation, a moment which you would like to experience differently. I hope you have picked one. Now let us break it down. For 1 minute, notice the ingredients of that moment. What do you see in your mind? There must be images or memories that come up. What do you hear? Self-talk? Someone else talking? Observe the details. What are you feeling? Some emotions? Joy, sadness, anger, or physical sensations like heart beating fast, rapid breathing, etc. Now, once you have noticed all this, tweak one thing. Change one element. If the image is negative, make it smaller. Make it black and white. Try it. Or push it far away. Take the image and push it far away as if you are moving away from it into the distance. And it is naturally becoming smaller and smaller. Or if it is sound predominant, try to change the tone of the voice that you are hearing. If it is too hard or too painful, make it like a cartoon voice, as if some cartoon character is saying those things. See if it makes a difference. Make it softer, make it gentler, play around. See if there is any change that you feel. If your body is feeling tense when you are thinking about that moment, adjust your posture. Physically change your stance, change your breathing pattern, etc. See what difference you feel. Now think about the situation again. Does it feel different? Any different? A little bit different? If not, tweak another element and try again. Once you have found a combination which shifts the feeling when you think about that moment, you have got your true recipe for this particular moment. Your next job is to repeat this daily. Practice it again and again. Over time, it becomes your brain's new default pattern for this particular thought. This exercise works for almost any challenge because it focuses on the structure of your thoughts, not the specific content of the thought. When I said pick a moment, I didn't care what moment you pick. This method doesn't care what moment you pick, whether it's related to fear, anger, anxiety, whatever it may be. It doesn't matter, because you are playing with the structure and it applies to any problem, any situation. By focusing on how you create your experience, NLP puts you in the driver's seat. You don't need to be an expert or know the full history of your own emotions. You don't need to know why you are like what you are. You just need to observe your mind's patterns and experiment with small changes. This approach is empowering because it's universal. Whether you are tackling fear, building confidence, or improving relationships, the same process applies. So in conclusion, I would like to say that your mind is not fixed. It is flexible, programmable, and malleable. And NLP is not a magic formula, but it gives you the tools to observe your patterns, interrupt what is not working, and install better alternatives. Start small, pick one challenge, one technique. Apply it and observe the shift. You don't need to become someone else. You just need to reclaim the steering wheel of your own mind. You are not broken. You are programmed and you can rewrite the code. The only limit is how far you are willing to explore. Now there are various techniques, tools and methods in NLP. things like the meta model, reframing, swish pattern, etc. There are a lot of patterns. Patterns are nothing but useful recipes. People have studied successful individuals in many fields and discovered their recipes, what they are doing in their mind to achieve that kind of result. Those recipes are what are called patterns in NLP. There is a high level view, but it's useful to think of it that way. There are many patterns in NLP which are applied for various situations and problems. But you can start with yourself. You can try to discover your own patterns and then start tweaking them, playing with them. My introduction to NLP started with Tony Robbins' book called Unlimited Power. It's a fantastic book. I mean, this is my copy of it. It is wrapped in newspaper. I purchased this in 2001. Unlimited Power, The New Science of Personal Achievement by Anthony Robbins. And after reading this book, I got introduced to NLP. It's a fantastic book. If you get your hands on it, please do read it. And then I read a lot of books by the founders themselves, Richard Bandler and John Grinder, Frogs into Princes, Structure of Magic, Volume 1 and 2, and then many books by Michael Hall, Steve Andreas, Robert Dilts, etc. There are plenty of good books, and there is an introductory book by Richard Bandler himself. He has written so many books on NLP. One of the books written by him is Richard Bandler's Guide to Transformations: How to Harness the Power of Hypnosis to Ignite Effortless and Lasting Change. Milton Erickson, one of the initial experts they studied, was a hypnotherapist, and he used to get fantastic results. So this is also a great book. But if you want to dig deeper, I would suggest this book, NLP, The Essential Guide, written by Tom Hoobyar and Tom Dotz with Susan Sanders. It is written in a very accessible way. So if you're interested, do explore further. You can start with this book, NLP, The Essential Guide, then move on to other books as you desire. And don't forget to use what we discussed today. It might seem very simple, but it is very powerful. It's not necessary that you will apply it to everything in your life, but if there is something that is bothering you or something that you would like to change, this fundamental technique can be very useful. So have a great time using it, exploring it, and hope it was useful for you. And I sincerely hope you make use of it. Thank you very much. See you next time.